Welcome to I Am the Cute One, the most chaotic school dance in the podcast universe.
Listen, you got through the week like we got through 9/11.
And a recession.
And the Special K diet.
And the time that James Franco hosted the Oscars.
And Ben Platt's wig and Dear Evan Hansen.
TGIF.
Hi, cuties. It is I, Chelsea. I just wanted to give a quick disclaimer at the top of this episode. I don't know what the heck was going on with my audio this episode. I think that we have resolved it. If I sound crisp and clear, tickling your eardrums now, it's fixed. But I did my best in post to clean it up. But if you're new, this isn't what I usually sound like. So it's a great episode, but I just kind of sound like I'm calling in from a tin can. Enjoy.
Hello, I am Donny and I am the cute one.
And I'm Chelsea and I'm the cute one.
TGIF, cuties.
TGIF.
How was your week, Chelsea?
My week was good. So it is the week before school starts. So my parents always take the girls for this week. And I gotta tell you, being kid-free in your own home for 3 days. I mean, you've received the monologues, the text messages, the dissertations I've been sending you. I have never been so productive in my goddamn life. I feel like I have had access to my brain for the first time this summer. I was living, I was laughing, I was loving. I felt like I was Bradley Cooper in that movie where he takes a pill and then all of a sudden he can like read people's thoughts. Limitless. That's how I felt. But not the end of Limitless, just the beginning part where he's really getting in his groove.
Shocking to nobody. I never saw the movie, but I did used to watch the TV show. Much like, for a long time, the Clueless TV show. I went until college having never seen the movie.
Yeah, you do love a TV show that is worse than the movie it was based on, but only having reference of the TV show. So like really standing 10 toes down in the fact that the TV show is better than the movie that you
Well, I can have a TED Talk because I have seen Clueless now, and I can have a TED Talk of how the TV show is better. But that will be a different episode, maybe a special where you don't log on and I just talk at the people for an hour.
Wow, I love that. Great. So before they left, though, I do have an announcement. So cuties, I don't know why I need to give this disclaimer, but I'm going to do it. If you have kids in the car, why are you listening to us? But I'm going to give you 5 seconds to turn it off because we had a conversation about a certain Christmas someone.
Oh.
It was time. All right. Are we gone? Are they good? All right, I'm starting. So it was time. Coco is going into 4th grade. She's a young 4th grader. Like she's going to be 8 when the school year starts. But 4th grade, it's time.
Yeah.
She has been asking certain questions. And there's been a couple of times where she's said like, but is Santa real? And I said to myself, like, if she asks again and it's not like in front of people or in front of Sapphire, I'm going to tell her.
Yeah.
She asked again and I said, do you really want to know? And then she looked at me and she goes, well, no, but yeah. And so I told her, like, well, me and Daddy are Santa, and now you're in on the magic, and Santa won't come unless you believe. And it's really exciting because now you're older, and so you get to keep the magic alive for your friends or for Sapphire. Like, now this is a really exciting time because it's a new form of Christmas magic that you get to help other people believe. And I was expecting, like, I don't know, she's such a black and white thinker. I was expecting a reaction. Like I was expecting it to be either like, you betrayed me, like what else have you been lying about? Or I was expecting like tears. She really keeps me on my toes. She was quiet for a while and I was like, how are you doing? You know, I was going into 4th grade when my mom told me, like, I remember being really sad. And she looked at me and she goes, so all of those wonderful gifts that Santa got me, all of those thoughtful gifts that Santa made, you were responsible for that and you let Santa take credit? And then she cupped my face and she said, that was so giving of you, Mom. I was like, damn, well, yeah, thanks. Thanks for the recognition. I do crush those fucking presents every year. But she did circle back and she said, well, I had my suspicions, but the final clue was when you told me that Santa would not let me get the new Nintendo Switch. I thought something was up about that. I was like, it's true.
That was the worst part. I'm sure I cared about the lying, whatever, but finding out that there would be limits then is what upset me about finding out.
Like, I definitely remember going through the stages of grief, and then I tried to like find loopholes of like, okay, so this magical thing isn't real, but maybe like I remember going back and being like, fingers crossed, like, what about the Easter Bunny? What about the Tooth Fairy? Like, I remember being like, maybe Santa was just one crazy idea, but the rest of it is real.
Oh yeah, I made my parents like tell me every single one. Like, you tell me about Santa, but now when Easter happens, like, oh, the Easter Bunny's coming. No, sit down for that too. I made them work to break my heart over and over.
Well, it's kind of like if a partner cheats and you're like, I want every dirty detail.
Oh yeah.
Where, when, how, with who. Tell me about Santa. What about the elves, bitch?
Right. Yeah.
But it is also like funny because in the context of both of our upbringings, and luckily I didn't have to deal with this with Coco, but like it is funny to explain that like a magical character is not real in the context of organized religion. Because I remember when my brother found out, and his next thought, which paved the way for the staunch atheist he would one day become, but his second thought was like, oh, so is Jesus fake too? It is a little bit like potato.
Yeah.
We're over here drinking his blood and eating his bodies. Why can that be true and not Santa making toys for boys and girls, you know?
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to say, Donny, is you know that every morning I like to start with my morning routine, a nice cup of coffee or perhaps an energy drink, and then just a nice gratitude reflection and then an update to my nemesis list. I do have a new number one.
Who is it?
The bushy-tailed bitch, the black squirrel that is in my front yard that will not leave my glorious, wonderful, whimsical bird feeder that's in my front window, won't leave it the fuck alone. This fat motherfucker sits in there and eats all the seeds and then like hisses at birds that dare try to come to the bird feeder.
Oh my God.
Like, this is not for you.
No.
I've just been knocking on the window every time I see him.
Is there any advice online of what to do to keep squirrels out?
So my friend says that you can get like hot bird seed, which is like spicy to squirrels, but like good for birds.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to see it shit itself.
I'm going to be waiting by the window for that first bite he takes and say, haha, bitch. So I'll give you updates there. Cuties, in the YouTube comments or the Patreon comments or the Spotify comments, don't forget you can leave a Spotify comment. What should I name this nemesis? I want it to be a pun, but not a Donny pun.
Paris Shelton was so good.
I cannot talk about Paris Shelton again on this platform, Donny. How was your week?
It was good. I visited Haley. She just moved in right after BB40. Her family moved into a new home. It's beautiful. The neighborhood is so big. It has like a lake, a private pool or whatever. But the neighborhood is so big that this year we like drove to the pool and drove to the lake when we wanted to take a walk around it. But they said by next summer when I visit, they're going to have a golf cart that we can get.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Haley is living my dream.
Me
You
too.
posted that you watched Camp Rock and it was like the outdoor patio TV. That is when I will have known I've made it. When I can watch television outdoors and not in like a white trash way of like the extension cord to a screen. Like that is like living.
Matt and Maggie have a projector that they put on the side of the house for movie nights in the pool, which is really cool. But this I loved because like the two movies we watched were Camp Rock and then Send Help. So they were like outdoorsy and whatever anyway. So it was cool to have like a fire right below it.
That was going to be my follow-up question. Did they have a fireplace right underneath?
A fireplace right below it. And then like the fireplace is like standalone and then like framework of a wall. So there's a roof, but then just like trees to both sides of it. So it was very outdoorsy and cool. We started to watch Camp Rock 3 from the hot tub, but then the bubbles were too loud. So we were like, let's do hot tub first and then move out. But it was great. Her house is so big. Every room has its own bathroom. I said I want to host my next birthday there.
Great. I'd love an invite.
But we also played 13 Dead End Drive. Her mom recently visited when they moved into the new house and was like, now that you have a bigger basement, you have more room for all the shit I've been holding for you. So like gave her all of her childhood games and 13 Dead End Drive was a part of it. Her kids loved it. We played twice. First, I wasn't like playing nice. Like first, let me introduce you to the game the way I know how. I'm going to win. Then the second time, her son won and was very proud of himself.
I love watching you interact with children because I think you do teach them important lessons, like losing gracefully to a full-grown man who is not winning gracefully.
No, I do win gracefully. I play hard, but I win gracefully.
That's true.
After the game, I say like, good game, good game. You want to play again? And then the second time, now that I see that you can handle it, maybe I'll let you win a little bit.
And do you know what I love about the dynamic of you and your boyfriend is he's the same way. When we were playing that junior detective game, there was a part where we realized we had like made a mistake and Coco should have had access to the clue. He didn't know why we were doing it, but he knew we were like putting our finger on the scale to tip it in her favor. And he was like, why are we doing this? I was like, yeah, you know what? This tracks in a really cute way for Donny.
Thank you. Haley mentioned she likes the way I interact with kids too, because I arrived on Friday and Haley's daughter had her like meet the teacher day because it's a new school since they just moved. I was like, you guys can go. We don't need to see the school, me and the son. So we'll stay home and like we'll play games a little bit. So we played like 3 different games. We played like Connect 4, Uno, and Yahtzee, which I love Yahtzee.
I don't think I've ever actually played. It's just something I say when somebody drops something, which I don't think is the appropriate use, but I've said it since a child. Like if somebody drops something, even in public, I'll go, Yahtzee.
Well, I'm not shocked you're using words wrong, but Yahtzee's supposed to be used like instead of jackpot, like Yahtzee.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to start saying it right.
No, I wouldn't expect you to. Talk about being zooted into space for a second. But I love Yahtzee. But when we were playing Connect 4, he won the first round and then wanted to play again. And he went first. He was like, winner goes. And then I won that round and he tried to go first again. And I said, what happened to winner goes first? And he said, no, I'm going to go first every time. And I said, sorry, that's not the rules you made. Either I go first right now or we're done playing. And then I told her that. And she was like, I love that you're just so blunt with them. And I said, well, you have to be.
Again, you do impart important wisdom on them because you rarely set a boundary, but when you do, the ears perk up because they are allowed to climb on you like a jungle gym, but they are not allowed to step on your shoes, which is completely appropriate.
Now, I will say there is something you do and Haley did where I don't know, and I can never tell, and I could just ask, I guess it's me asking you, where like they'll say like, okay, give Donny a break. And I don't know if that is the parent telling me like, okay, they're being too hyper, or like, we don't want them climbing on people at the pool, stop this. Or if it's them really like worried about me. And if that's the case, to any friend listening, I'll let them know when it's too much, but I'm still okay throwing your child in the air if I'm doing it.
Okay. I believe that you believe that. I do it usually the second one. Sometimes it is like I can see the writing on the wall, and when the eyes start crossing, like we're going full feral, and like once that train leaves the station, like we can't reel him back in. Most of the time I am trying to give you a break because you say you'll set the boundary, but I have witnessed those third day eyes where you are just a shell of a person. And so what I love about all of my child-free friends is like you really do hit the ground running and you have the energy to participate in a way that doesn't scream, I'm already exhausted by kids, but you also don't know your own limits. Like you are running a marathon and you're sprinting the first 3 miles.
I understand. There's just nothing I love more than throwing a little girl in the air. So if I have the chance, I'll take it every time. However, I will say, I think Kelly from Laguna Beach has passed her travel curse on me. First of all, my Amtrak was like an hour and a half delayed. And then there was no quiet car, which you know is my sanctuary. Like normally, and the prices are still expensive, so I don't know why. There's no real like luxurious way to travel anymore. Flights aren't it. Amtrak's not it. Like there used to be like a line of like, if you're poor, take New Jersey Transit. If you got some money, take Amtrak. If you're really rich, take a flight. But now,
can I tell you what's happening?
Yeah.
So, you know, Dr. Bald, our resident conspiracy theorist, who unfortunately is more on the pulse than not. He says that flights are going to become a luxury item. Like the normal person, me and you, are not going to be able to travel by flight this time next year. Like prices are just going to get to a point that if you're rich, you can fly. If you're very rich, you can fly with your family. So because of that, then everybody now is more likely to travel by bus or by train. But then when it's just the everyman, and they know that that's the only way that you're going to get anywhere, then they can treat us like shit because we got to get to go where we're going.
Yeah. Because the train I was on was leaving from Louisiana originally to New York City. So like when I got on, it was fully crowded. People had pet turtles on there. Like it was just a mess. And there was no quiet car. So I was over it. I was getting back to New York an hour and a half later than I was supposed to. And then Haley had packed me a bag of snacks with like all kinds of things. Chips, grapes, an Alani, a sandwich, whatever.
God, you really are living good with your other friends. Meanwhile, you visit me and I'm like, I bought you some creamer. Enjoy.
No, normally you like let me swing by a Wawa or whatever, get a lunch before I go. So that's nice.
This time you had to basically beg me. I didn't feed you breakfast. And then you were like, so are we going to eat before my...
You did say that. You said like, we have 45 minutes. Is that too early? And I was like, not too early for me to go to lunch, which I thought was happening. Anyway, Haley packed me this stuff, but because of it, she had an ice pack at the bottom to keep the grapes and the water and stuff cold. So after a 6-hour train ride, it was a paper bag. As soon as I got off the train, it ripped open and fell. And I was saving the cookies she baked me to eat at home, and they fell on a New York ground. So then I didn't even get them. I was just so over it. I was happy to be home. The next day I went to the beach, and the train I was going to take to the beach was canceled. So then I had to wait an hour at Penn Station. The travel curse is with me.
Well, congratulations to Kelly, because I have been in her DMs quite a bit, telling her spells she could do, but also I told her, as someone who had a travel curse myself, let's not forget the ferry in the middle of the ocean that crashed when I was on it. I told her the only way to get rid of it is to pass it on to somebody else. The way I got rid of it was my cousin bought my plane ticket home from my other cousin's bachelorette party, and she has had the curse ever since. So I'm sorry for you, but Kelly, book that travel, get that airfare while you can, babe.
But I haven't seen Kelly in real life, so I think it's just because we send so many files back and forth to each other. So now I'm going to send it to Troy. Keep it in the family.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Also, I did come home to exciting news. Sydney James Harcourt of Jellicle Ball Cats fame. He played like the sexy cat, Chelsea. He played the cat that Jason Derulo played. Yeah, he played that cat. So like you've seen his pictures before. I've tried to get him as a guest before. When he was on Watch What Happens Live, him and Andy said that they had sex before. Like he's really fitting into the role. And like, I knew that when Cats ended, the attention this man got from being in Cats as the sexy cat couldn't go nowhere. I knew we would see more of him, and more of him we're seeing because he has been teasing in his stories that he's going to start an OnlyFans. And yesterday he posted and was like, if I started one, what would you guys want to see? And I said, respectfully, we've already seen your butt. Like, if you're not getting fucked, we don't want to see nothing. It's a waste of my money. I'm not paying $10 to see you jerking off in a bed, you know?
Well, you are the customer, and the customer is always right.
So, with that said, he is funny. He has been on multiple podcasts.
Not coming on ours now.
Well, no, I do want him as a guest on ours. But just so you are prepared, I will be asking, like, what can we expect from your OnlyFans?
I'm not surprised about that. Well, moving on from that, I guess, before we get into recommendations, I would like to introduce a new segment, and that is things I'm not recommending, but not recommending.
I've been doing that.
No, you do. Here's something that I'm not recommending. Or you'll say, I saw this movie. You'll notice it's not in recommendation.
Okay.
But this is something I'm not recommending, but I'm not recommending. And that is the Red Bull Dragonberry Energizer drink from McDonald's.
Okay.
It is disgusting in a way that really tickles the taste buds. I went through the McDonald's drive-thru and I saw it there on the menu, and as an energy drink sommelier of sorts, I do like to dabble and just try things. So I did it for the plot. I took my first sip. I said, that's fucking disgusting. And then I drank the whole thing. And it does feel like diabetes in a can. It is not good, but I cannot say I won't order it again. So just keep your eyes peeled, cuties, and let me know in the comments if you enjoy a Red Bull Dragonberry Energizer drink.
Well, I adore that.
But now getting into recommendations, I am still in my Minotaur porn bag. I just finished the sequel to the book I was talking about last week. This sequel was called By the Horns. It was way hornier than the first book, but I enjoyed myself. I could have done with a little bit less descriptions of the knot, because in this book, the main Minotaur is what they call God's blessed. So you may recall in book 1, every 5 years, the minotaurs go into rut and they get the knot on their penis and they're like insatiable. They like all they can think about is fucking. But in this book, the main character minotaur is God's touched, which means he has that knot all year round. So I could have done with a little less descriptions of that, but you don't go to a baseball game and complain about the bats or the balls. So I knew what I was signing up for. I recommend it.
Perfect.
And then speaking of horns, a children's movie. I watched Goat for the first time, which is about Steph Curry. Apparently not an accurate representation of his very affluent, bougie upbringing, but that's neither here nor there.
Known to be about him? Like, was it advertised?
He's the voice actor.
Kristen Bell's the voice actress of Anna. Doesn't mean that she has a sister that can shoot ice out her puss.
No, but it does mean that she's trapped living with someone who is secretly perhaps evil. No, I don't know if it's like meant to be about him, but there's definitely winks and nods, and it's a really cute movie. The girls both loved it. It's going to be a nice one to add into the rotation because you know how it is in my house. We're always circling through.
Yes.
So it's much better than some of the other choices we've been having lately. But my favorite part was trying to guess like which character was which, because they're all kind of like amalgams of like famous basketball players. And for any cuties out there that have seen Goat, you cannot tell me that Maine is not my first crush. The one, the only, the original AI, Allen Iverson. So highly recommend.
All right. Well, now that you said that, maybe I'll jerk off to it. My recommendation is Winter Burrow. It's a game for Nintendo Switch or Xbox where you play a sensible country mouse in the winter who's just trying to survive the winter. So you have to like go and cut down twigs and stuff to go in and build a fire in your home, make little winter hats, etc. But then, spoiler alert, but it's in like the first 20 minutes. Your auntie is the one that's like teaching you all these things and she gets kidnapped by an owl. So then you have to go save her and like nurse her back to health and stuff.
I love that. It's too bad that Santa doesn't believe in the new Nintendo Switch, because I think Coco would be all about that. One more reminder, we are on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, and then patreon.com/IamTheCuteOne for Desperate Housewives coverage. We are moving and grooving towards that shooter episode. We actually recorded the shooter episode this very morning, so stay tuned for that. And then also, BB40 is wrapping up. We are only a couple episodes away from the finale. So if you missed it or if you haven't been keeping track, catch up now because there are some exciting things that are going to be happening.
Can't wait. This week, Dancing Queen turned 50, Brandy sang the Different World theme song, Phoebe Bridgers was hospitalized for appendicitis on her 32nd birthday, Rosie O'Donnell covered for Jimmy Kimmel, Diana Agron was cast in season 5 of Industry, the Normies cast of The Traitors was announced, Madonna and Taylor Swift led the nominees of the 2026 MTV Video Music Awards, Salma Hayek became a grandmother, and Luigi pled guilty on a federal level, possibly granting him double jeopardy immunity on a state level. My baby's coming home.
Love that for you.
Thank you. So I want to talk, Chelsea, about D23. It's my favorite pop culture week of the year. It's the annual Disney conference where they announce like what changes are coming to the park, what TV, movies, whatever is coming out. So in terms of like Broadway and stuff, they said The Greatest Showman is ready for the stage. It's coming to London in spring 2027. And usually what they do when it goes to London, they see how well it does there and if changes need to be made and then bring it to New York. So we could be getting a Broadway show of The Greatest Showman, which is one of my favorites.
Is that a movie too?
Yeah, it's the one with Hugh Jackman, Zendaya, Zac Efron, Michelle Williams.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, it's really good. And then in terms of video games, there's going to be a new Kingdom Hearts game, but then also the Marvel Wolverine game for PlayStation is coming out very soon. And as you know, I have a Switch, I have an Xbox, I don't have a PlayStation, so now I need one.
PlayStation.
Yeah. In terms of TV, Vision Quest, the third part of the WandaVision trilogy, is coming out. And that is the one I care about least because WandaVision was Elizabeth Olsen and like paid homage to all the classic TV sitcoms. Then Agatha All Along was very like queer and women and witchcraft. So I was excited for that. This is just about like that robot man or whatever he is coming to terms with like he lost people in his family. Boring. But I'm sure we'll get an Elizabeth Olsen cameo, so I will be watching, but it's just not for me. Now, the movies are really where the magic is. We're getting another Simpsons movie, The Incredibles 3, Coco 2, something called Ghost Market, which is about exactly what it sounds like, a market where you can go and shop for ghosts or whatever, kind of like Mommy Market, except for dead people.
Etsy witches, but a farmer's market version.
Yeah. Lilo and Stitch live action 2, the Bluey movie, Ice Age Boiling Point, Frozen 3, which will have a female villain, which people are excited about because the original concept for Frozen was that Anna's sister was evil. And then they were like, no, let's revamp it and make it sisterhood. So now everybody thinks that we're going to get like the original concept.
I hope that the villain is like a heat miser type of person. So then we can have some sort of heat miser, snow miser. You know, I'm always chasing that high.
I would love that. In the video, a butterfly lands on Elsa and like scratches her. So people think like that is like butterfly effect adjacent. Now, I don't know if she's going to kill herself in the womb, but
we will never cover that movie because that is one of the ones that made me feel dead inside.
You say that all the time, but I love it.
Black Swan, that movie, Riding in Cars with Boys, they made me feel such existential dread. I never want to revisit.
Okay, because of that sentence you just said, I will give you never covering Riding in Cars with Boys or Butterfly Effect because there's no way I cannot ever cover Black Swan. But also, what end of Butterfly Effect did you see? The one where he kills himself in the womb?
Oh, there's different versions?
Yeah, there's like 5 different versions. And the one is
he ended up like with one arm, or she ended up with one arm.
No, I think that's just part of the movie. The ultimate, like, 5 different endings are he kills himself in the womb so he never meets her. The other one is, like, where when he meets her the first time, he pushes her and calls her, like, a fat bitch or something so that she'll never talk to him again. Like, all those kind of things. And then there's one, like, he passes her on the street and she fully ignores him because she doesn't know. And then there's one where she passes him on the street and turns because, like, do I know you? Like that.
But past life, yeah.
The killing himself in the womb was the toughest one.
I think it was that one. And it wasn't only that I watched that night. It was a double header. It was a soccer sleepover. And it was like one of my first successful sleepovers.
Should have went home.
I should have gone home. I was a go-homer. I would always call my parents to get picked up. And this was like the stage where I was getting too old to be a go-homer. And so my mom would give me the pep talk before I got out of the car and was like, Chelsea, even if you don't sleep a wink, just lay there. You cannot go home. And I was like, got it, Mom. But we watched this movie and then 13.
Oh,
so
Christ.
I came home a shell of a person.
This is probably when you started to come up with that game, like, let's choke each other.
That's when I was like, we need to liven these things up.
Yeah. Also, Zootopia 3 was announced, which is going to incorporate birds into the mix. And I didn't see Zootopia 2 yet, but they said the first movie's about racism, the second one's about gentrification, and they think because birds migrate, this one will be about immigration.
I love that. I loved Zootopia 2 way more than Zootopia 1 because I think they like fleshed out the world building a little bit because it still is
propaganda, yeah.
It's a little bit of propaganda, but they do talk about the systemic nature of ACAB.
Well, as long as there's that tiger on the train, I'm fine with it. And then we knew about these movies already, but there were updates of Romy and Michelle 2 and Tangled, and then the X-Men cast was announced.
Cool.
So just thrilling all around.
So People magazine is reporting that Meghan Trainor continues to be the worst. Now, this isn't their headline, it's mine, but I'm going to post a picture here for the YouTube. And I sent you this picture, Donny. Meghan Trainor created a stuffed doll resembling herself to help her 5.5-year-old son, Riley, cope with separation anxiety. First, I'm sorry, is R.L. Stein in the room? Stealing my storylines?
I was going to say, I think you hate in others what you hate about yourself.
Oh, no, to be clear, I don't hate that she's done this. I hate that she's stolen this from me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And also, I hate what this doll looks like because, sure, Uncle Jesse, if you're not familiar, cuties, if you missed this chapter of my life, I did get a mannequin to help my dog Aunt Becky with her separation anxiety.
No, you didn't get a mannequin. You got a blow up doll that you can't blow up. That is, it is just, it's truly that, and I'm not the first person to make this joke, but it's truly that what would your brain on drugs do, where they just sink into the couch. That is Uncle Jesse.
The craziest thing is you were the first person to make that joke because you were there when we unboxed Uncle Jesse. Then I posted him online and like several people in the comments also saw this. It didn't help that we also put him in the same colored shirt as that very commercial of the like, ugh. But he came in a box with no packaging on the inside, which is concerning because I do believe he was used before. Dr. Bald is convinced that he was a sex worker in his past life. With that I say there are no holes. Now he does have a full beat of makeup, but
He does.
no holes. But yeah, so I did get this blow up doll that doesn't blow up named Uncle Jesse. And he may have been haunted. We've saged him and now he's a loving part of my family. He sleeps in my room, for God's sake, on the floor with AB so she doesn't sleep in our bed anymore. I would argue this doll that Meghan Trainor thinks looks like her is far more haunted than Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, I would say so. Because if it's going to be haunted by anything, this doll will be haunted by the spirit of Meghan Trainor. And I'd rather have whatever fuck monster is in yours than anything resembling Meghan Trainor.
I'm so proud of you because I was fully expecting you to say it would be haunted by the spirit of the gay that lives in her bathtub. Are we not allowed to say that anymore because he might be a guest?
No, he will never be a guest. I'd rather be in the Desperate Housewives supermarket than have him be a guest.
Okay, great. Trainer said in an Instagram video that Riley hugs and kisses the stuffed doll. The mom of three joked that the doll even has the same thin hair as her. Here's my thoughts. Number one, I am going to say that this is going to be the last Uncle Jesse update for a little bit. I do fear that it's veering into candy cane up the ass territory. Like, I did do this for the bit. I fully bought this mannequin for the bit, for the content, as a little hee ha ha. I did not expect this thing to work. And the fact that since we've gotten Uncle Jesse, AB is totally fine is fucking crazy to me. And
it is crazy.
Does answer the age-old question of, is AB smart or dumb? Oh, she's dumb.
Yeah. And I am getting so protective of Uncle Jesse working that I'm a person, sorry, Cuties, I'm just going to say it. Maybe you didn't know this about me. Like when I was vegan and lost a lot of weight, then I would look at other large people and be like, it's so easy. Why aren't they losing weight? Or when I went sober, then I would look at other people that clearly had an issue and be like, why aren't they going sober? So now I look at people with poorly behaved dogs and like some of which have said to me like, oh my God, my dog has anxiety separation, but that would never work. I'm like, why aren't you trying it? What do you mean it'll never work?
Hey, I'll send you the link and you too can get a haunted blow-up doll that doesn't blow up. Yeah, it's crazy and it's crazy. It's a crazy thing for many reasons. It's crazy that I did it. It's crazy that it works. It's crazy that you did witness the unboxing and so you also witnessed how quickly my family acclimated to Uncle Jesse.
Well, the family, but also the dog. Like, I did expect pushback of the girl saying it was creepy or scary or whatever. None of that.
Nope. Fully watching Bunked on Disney the next morning, like leaning up against him.
We can't even mention the word Jumanji in your house, but we can cuddle up with a blow-up doll. That's fine. But that Aunt Becky took to it so well too, because I was sure, like, you have stuffed animals in your house, you have Barbies, you have different wigs, like surely this dog is not going to be tricked into thinking a toy is a human, but surely enough was.
Again, she's dumb. Yeah, it was crazy, especially because she warmed to him immediately. Like, she took to him before he even had clothes on. And like, when we unboxed him, he looked like Voldemort in that scene of King's Cross Station where he looks like a wet chicken bone. Like, he was not fully popped yet. And to be clear, he's still not popped. He is pretty flaccid still, but no neck control. My God, like a newborn. But she took to him immediately. And my family, like, Dr. Bald just went and got old clothes immediately. I didn't ask. I looked over and he's putting socks on the mannequin because he said, well, the veins freak me out. And I said, yeah. So it is going to be my last Uncle Jesse update for a little bit, just to give it a rest, because I did post the video of AB snoring away cuddled up to him at night. And I don't want to beat the dead horse, but like it is objectively crazy what's going on in my home.
Yeah. But also, as someone who was here through the candy cane up the ass era, I will say it's nowhere near that level yet.
I'm just trying to be mindful, you know? The last thing I'll say about Meghan Trainor is I do think it's important, and this might be controversial yet brave of me to say, and I may have haters in the comments. I implore you, go to Spotify and leave a comment. We're really trying to grow over there. I think it's important to recognize that children are not the same as dogs. And I know there are a lot of fur mamas and daddas out there who think that their fur babies are their kids. They're not.
Right.
I am a dog person through and through. I bought my dog a fucking mannequin. Like, I get it. It's not the same. And so it does concern me that she's doing it for the bit, seemingly. Like, she did get a write-up in People magazine, which I am resentful for, because where is mine? But this is a 5.5-year-old child. This is a child who I'm assuming is in kindergarten or first grade. It feels different for my dumbass dog to be tricked by a mannequin and for this 5.5-year-old to be giving hugs and kisses to, again, this doll.
Yeah. But this is a woman who had a gay man living in her bathtub. So
And double toilets for dual shits.
yeah.
So my cutie of the week are my new vocal stems. I have 2 songs. I am going to play them, but I am going to have to remove it from the YouTube version. So if you want to hear it, you can Google it yourself. The first one is Pink Blush by Dolly Babe. If you don't think you know the song, you do, because it's all over our algorithms. Shout out to you, Dolly Babe. Now, not on the same level, but spiritually, it's important to have vocal stems from many places, many regions, many cultures. And I mustn't sleep on one that's had me since the moment it came out, and that is Baby Gorgeous by one Lisa Barlow. I personally enjoy how she manages to rhyme "you're just" with "baby gorgeous." But if you listen closely, she does say "baby gorgeous." Your energy is magic, magic. So, anywho, those are my cuties of the week because it's important to support the arts.
All right. Mine, cuties, it's going to be tough for me to get through. Even when Chelsea was giving her cutie of the week, I knew this was coming, so I started to cry. My cutie of the week is Hayden Panettiere. She was just such a talent, and it is so sad that we have lost her this young. I want to thank the amount of cuties who reached out to me. It was very overwhelming and very nice. There were so many people that was like, I thought of you immediately. How are you? Whatever. That's beautiful. Thank you. I haven't been this sad about a celebrity passing since Naya Rivera. It is always odd to me, like, how much... It is odd to me when a celebrity's passing, like, affects me in this way, because I have met her, yes, but only once. Like, this woman was not my friend, but I think she was just such an important part of so many people's lives. And, like, a lot of Black people, like, claimed her. A lot of Black millennials are like, she was one of ours. And I think it is really cool to see this young woman who, like, rode for, because she did a lot of, like, not political work, but she did things for different communities and did stuff for PETA. Yeah, humanitarian work. So, like, it was more than just her talent and more than just her crumping in Bring It On, All or Nothing, and, like, more than her songs on Nashville, that she really spoke to a lot of people. And I think what makes me saddest is that when I did meet her, I asked her what future projects she would love to work on next that she hasn't done. And she said she would love to direct movies with children on set so that she could protect them in ways that she wasn't. And I think having somebody in the world that wants to do that is beautiful and important. And now there's like one less.
Yeah. And I think that with her, and obviously she was on my radar because she's on my radar, but like I didn't really know her story until you told me about it and about her book. But I think it's also just so sad to see somebody who has been so vulnerable and open about their past and their struggles and also like the trauma that they've been through. And you get to see that like bright, shiny, like you've gotten through it and you're healthy and you've worked on yourself and you're here and you've arrived. And it's just like addiction and mental health and trauma is so insidious. And like, it's just such a reminder. Like, I'm sure all of us have had experiences with losing a loved one to addiction or to mental health. And it's like, it's just so sad that it still can get you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So Cuties, thank you. Love you as always, but thank you for this week.
And Cuties, if there's anybody out there that is struggling yourself, or if you have somebody in your life that is struggling, you can call, text, or chat 988 and be connected to trained crisis counselors within the 988 Lifeline network.
And we will talk to you later. Love you like a sister. Bye.
Thank you for listening to I Am the Cute One. If you want more, head to patreon.com/IamTheCuteOne for uncut, unedited, and unhinged video and audio footage of current episodes, as well as even more bonus content.
And if you like what you heard, please be sure to leave a 5-star rating and subscribe to our show. And to help us grow this community of chaotic cuties, share an episode with a friend you think would pass the vibe check.
And to see the madness, check out our YouTube channel, where video footage from all current episodes are posted weekly.
You can follow me at Real Donnywood on Instagram and all other social media platforms.
And if you want more of my personal brand of chaos, check me out at Oh No Chels.
Talk to you later. Love you like a sister.